Hello, my name is Bernard J. Wells Jr. A few years ago, I sued the state of Ohio for $250 million. Basically, I made it all the way to the northern district in Ohio downtown, and basically, this was stemming behind a wrongful incarceration. I've done 7.5 years behind bars for a fist fight, and always have been able to prove that I was set up by Cleveland police prosecutors and my paid attorney, who was Ed Wade at the time. He became judge. Um, as I don't know if you guys know any familiar with Cleveland, but Ed Wade passed. He made it to judge. He was a municipal judge, and he passed a couple of years ago or whatnot. And throughout this whole time, I've always, since 2012, I've been writing my book, and a lot of doors have been slammed in my face. This state will help you do absolutely nothing when you have them proven wrong. When I did the segments with 19 Action News, the press conference with 19 Action News, just being wrongfully incarcerated, they had me on the news for like 2 weeks straight. I was hot. I've done a couple of talk shows since I've been home. I've been on the front page of Call and Post. I've been in Cleveland Life magazine. But when I produce evidence showing how police, prosecutors, and my own paid attorney all conspired together to send me to jail unlawfully 7.5 years for a fist fight, they uh, they did a segment on me downtown in front of the Justice Center with Black on Black Crime with Art McCoy and them. They snuck me on the news that day because no one in the media no one in the media wanted to do a follow-up story on me because I produced evidence proving conspiracy between our supposed to be finest police officers here in the city of Cleveland. And since since I since then I have completed my book. Um, I finally think it's done. It's been published since July 2nd of this month, and the name of it is called Time Barred. Um, this book contains this book. That's me. This book contains certified Cuyahoga County records showing conspiracy between the police, the prosecutor, my paid attorney, all the way up until federal judges. See, when I was coming up through the state's courts while I was locked up, all of the appeal courts and every court that I went through, all the way up until federal habeas and everything, all of these judges that were state judges or whatnot, they made it to federal court. This book right here is Tell All. It is so high profile. It is very powerful. They do not want the world, the city, the state, no one to be aware of what I have against them. I have been quiet for very long, and I refuse to allow my life to go past without speaking up. I refuse to die not just knowing that I didn't do anything about this. Basically saying I'd rather die like a man than go on living in the streets out here doing trying to live an everyday life, knowing that these people have gotten away with destroying my life. I was 23 years old when this happened to me. I didn't get out of jail till I was 31. I haven't made any kids, and basically not even interested in making any kids because of the way that this world is. But they locked me up 4 times. I went to jail 4 times for the same case here in the state of Ohio. This state has done so much. It has done so much to keep this situation covered up. When Ed Wade became judge, I sent Rufus Sims, the guy that represented Anthony Sowell, up to Ed Wade's office, and I told Rufus Sims to tell Ed Wade, you didn't ask me if you could become judge because you set me, you was a part of the conspiracy, you set me up. I told him that I wrote a book about it and told Rufus Sims to go upstairs and tell him about it. And he did. I used to work out with Rufus Sims at the Bally's when they were in Severance. He also represented me on this case or whatnot, and we ended up having messed up disconnection or whatnot. He told my family that I was too stupid to show remorse and just simply go home, when all actuality I was standing for what I believed in, because I never had to do one day behind bars. I went and did 7.5 years behind bars, fighting for what I believed in. They told me, just say you did it and you can go home right now, but I refused to show remorse for something that I didn't do. Valentine's Day, 1997, I was in court. They brought me back to court after doing 13 months. They brought me back. I paid $7,050. Refer to my book when you buy a copy. $7,050 I paid to come home on super shock probation in 1997. And basically, the judge was concerned about, my remorse for this victim. And I stood up in this courtroom, tears streaming down my eyes. I'm talking about my face was messed up the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Mucus everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And the judge said, my main concern, Mr. Wells, is your attitude. I have not heard you turn to this victim and apologize for what's happened. And I stood up in that courtroom and I told him, these are my exact words, refer to my trial pages. I told him, I said, my deepest sympathy go out to you for what happened to you and everything. But I said, if it was any way possible, this judge would tell me, Bernard J. Wells Jr., you can go home if you plead guilty right now, then I would just stick by my plea because I honestly didn't do nothing to you. Now, the judge sent me back to jail. I did what, six more years after that. Basically, I'm really at a loss for words right now. I'm very happy because D.L. Hughley told me that once I got this book published, that he would do a story on me. So I'm on my way to St. Louis, Missouri tomorrow to go take this book to D.L. Hughley. Hopefully you guys will see me. I'm going to do another video, so check me out because I have a lot to say about this. So just check me out.